There are two levels of Iman that at least you should know about. I know you know about Iman, Islam, Iman, Ihsan. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, Iman and Ihsan are actually, you could say, an increased state of Iman is Ihsan. So it's just, like you have Jannah and you have better Jannah. You have faith and you have higher faith. The higher faith is Ihsan. But at the basic level, all Muslims should understand there are two levels of faith. Iman is at two levels. I consider you a believer. You consider me a believer. And the only thing I needed for proof was you said Assalamu alaikum, I said Wa alaikum assalam. We know that we are Muslims. We're believers. That is one level. That works at the level of human beings. And to be that, all you have to do is Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu sallallahu alayhi wasallam. You're done. You're a Muslim. You are a believer. And this is actually an intellectual conclusion. I don't want to get too philosophical with you, but it's similar to 2 + 2 is 4. I reached that conclusion. Allah is one, Muhammad is His messenger, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Quran is His book, there's a day of judgment. I've reached these conclusions, I am a Muslim. By the way, if you wake me up at 2 in the morning and ask me who's God, I'll say Allah. Who's the messenger? It's Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's a conclusion I've reached. It's an intellectual thing. I've declared it openly and I've accepted it internally. That is one level of Iman. There's another level of Iman. Another dimension of Iman, an alternative dimension of Iman. And this is the Iman that goes up and it goes down. And it has good days and it has bad days. And you can feel the flames of it one day and you can't find it inside you another day. You just can't, where'd it go? I don't know what happened to it. You'll be in prayer and you will feel that Iman. It will take over your soul. Nothing will mean more to you than talking to Allah then. You will not want it to stop. And then it will disappear like you never had it. You'll never had it. So there is a quantitative Iman and there is a qualitative Iman. Let's put it that way in modern terms so we can understand this matter. There's a quantitative Iman and there is a qualitative Iman. The surah that deals with this subject in the most beautiful, خَيْرُ الْكَلَامِ مَا قَلَّ وَدَلَّ. That's the surah is Surah Al-Hujurat. قالت الأعراب آمنا قل لم تؤمنوا ولكن قولوا أسلمنا ولما يدخل الإيمان في قلوبكم بل كان في أذهانهم لم يكن في قلوبهم. In their head they were Muslims. In their minds Islam had come. The heart hadn't felt it yet. And it comes and it goes. That's the Iman that Allah is asking us to have in this surah. You already have the intellectual faith. You already have that. What happened to that Iman that makes you feel like you want to give your life for Islam? That you want nothing more to earn Allah's pleasure? That you want to be of those who are raised among the sabiqun, that zeal, that enthusiasm, that fire, that's the Iman Allah is asking for now. Aminu billahi wa rasulihi wa anfiqu, and spend mimma ja'alakum mustakhlafina fi, and spend out of what He has made you. Now mustakhlaf, so hard to translate but such a beautiful word. Comes from khalf. Khalf means behind. Istikhlaf is to leave someone with something and you leave them. I'm going, you stay, I'll leave this with you. Okay? Allah says, لَيَسْتَخْلِفَنَّهُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ. He will leave them behind on the earth. He talks about the Muslims. He says Allah has promised them that He will leave them behind on the earth. In other words, the authority of all others will be gone. Makkah will be cleansed and the Muslims will own authority of the region. لَيَسْتَخْلِفَنَّهُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ. Some interpret that, يُعْطِيهِمُ الْخِلَافَ فِي الْأَرْضِ. Right? He'll give them khilafah on the earth. But khilafah even means to be left behind, you're in charge. Now, Allah says He has left مِمَّا جَعَلَكُمْ مُسْتَخْلَفِينَ فِيهِ. Now, what do you know about the word ma? What kind of word is that? Ma, alladhi, man. What are these? It's a mawsul. And the difference between ma and alladhi is ma is general. And alladhi is very particular. Allah is saying whatever talents, abilities, opportunities, economic situations, social circumstance, era, region in the world, whatever I have equipped you with, whatever I've left you behind with on this earth, you will spend out of that. So you will take a good stock, and I will take a good stock, an inventory of what has Allah given me? Where has He placed me? What era, what time am I living in? And then, if my Iman is really fired up, like the beginning of the surah demands, if my Iman is really fired up, I am ready to spend my youth, my talent, my energy, my career, My aspirations, I'm ready to spend them in whatever I can for Him. وَأَنْفِقُوا مِمَّا جَعَلَكُمْ مُسْتَخْلَفِينَ فِيهِ فَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنْكُمْ وَأَنْفَقُوا. Then those of you that really do come to believe among you, those who hear this and something happens to their iman, and then as a result they do spend, لَهُمْ أَجْرٌ كَبِيرٌ. They are in fact going to have a huge compensation. Now, I told you the surahs deal with weakness of iman, and the first remedy offered to us was realizing the closeness of Allah. Remember that? That was the first remedy offered. Recognize the grandeur of Allah, recognize He's close to you, recognize He's watching everything you're doing. The second major remedy that's being offered in the surah, spending. Being motivated to serve Allah and spending for Him. Not just money. Money included, by the way. Time. Probably the most important thing you can give to Allah is time. Probably the most valuable asset you have in your life is your time. You give Allah your time. That automatically means you've given Him your money. You've given Him your most precious asset. You and I have limited time on this earth. You spend that for Allah Azza wa Jal, you've done infaq of ma istakhlafakum fihi. What He left you with, you know. No, ma akhlafakum fihi. فَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنْكُمْ وَأَنْفَقُوا لَهُمْ أَجْرٌ كَبِيرٌ وَمَا لَكُمْ. And what's wrong with you? لَا تُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ وَالرَّسُولِ. لَا تُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ, actually we'll stop there. لَا تُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ. What's wrong with you? You don't believe in Allah. You don't believe in Allah. You know, you don't get the taste of what Allah is saying in the translation, you don't believe in Allah. There's actually two meanings of لَا تُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ. You don't believe in Allah, and you don't believe Allah. You don't believe Allah. Now what's the difference between saying I believe in Allah and I believe Allah? Is there a difference? When I say I believe in Allah, I believe He exists. I believe He's my master. I believe in His names and attributes. I believe in His uniqueness and His tawheed. Fine. When I say I believe Allah, that means I have full 100% conviction, confidence, trust in whatever He's saying to me. In the previous ayah He said, give me your youth, give me your money, give me your talent, give me your aspirations, give me your goals in life, and I will give you a huge compensation. What's wrong with you? You don't believe me? Next ayah, وَمَا لَكُمْ لَا تُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ. How can you not believe me? What more motivation can you need? وَالرَّسُولُ يَدْعُوكُمْ لِتُؤْمِنُوا بِرَبِّكُمْ. And the messenger is calling you. He is the one in fact inviting you, so that you could truly believe in your master. وَقَدْ أَخَذَ مِيثَاقَكُمْ. And how is this something new to you? The covenant, way before the messenger even came, the real contract was already taken from you when you were created. إِن كُنتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ. If in fact you are believers, you should remind yourselves that this is actually a reaffirmation of the original agreement. هُوَ الَّذِي يُنَزِّلُ عَلَىٰ عَبْدِهِ آيَاتٍ بَيِّنَاتٍ. So how are you going to, now this spending, right? The spending. And the messenger is calling you to truly believe in your master. Now Allah Azza wa Jalla says, where will you get the strength to maintain that iman? If you do get that fervor and that iman, is it possible that somebody comes out into the light and pulls back into the darkness? Sure, happens all the time. Like we said, good days and bad days. What does Allah say in the next ayah? هُوَ الَّذِي يُنَزِّلُ عَلَىٰ عَبْدِهِ آيَاتٍ بَيِّنَاتٍ. He's the one who sends down over and over again, continually upon His slave, miraculous, clear, self-evident, signs. لِيُخْرِجَكُم مِّنَ الظُّلُمَاتِ. Revelations, if you will. So He can pull you out from the shades of darkness, إِلَى النُّورِ, to the light. وَإِنَّ اللَّهَ بِكُمْ لَرَؤُوفٌ رَحِيمٌ. And Allah, especially in your case, بِكُمْ خاصة يعني مقدم. لا إن الله لرؤوف رحيم بكم. بكم مقدم. The jar majroor muqaddam, the muta'alliq bil khabar muqaddam. Especially in your case, Allah is extremely compassionate. Ra'uf in the human sense, ra'fa in the human sense is to be able to feel somebody's pain, to identify with somebody's situation. You're trying to tell somebody about your problems and they're like, I don't think he gets what I'm going through. You can't understand what I'm feeling right now. That's, lack of ra'fa. Ra'uf, Allah calls Himself Ra'uf, and by saying that He's saying not only is He merciful towards you, kind towards you, He knows exactly what you and I are going through. He identifies with your and my state entirely. In your case particularly, Allah is Ra'uf and always ready to take care of you and shower His blessings and mercy upon you. وَمَا لَكُمْ. And what's wrong with you? أَلَّا تُنْفِقُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. That you wouldn't spend in the path of Allah. وَلِلَّهِ مِيرَاثُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. Have you forgotten that Allah alone owns the inheritance of the skies and the earth? What are you going to hold on to, those few dollars? That little bit of time? That little bit of youth? Don't you realize even you are property and I own you and the earth you came from? You're going to go back into the ground, and what's going to happen to that nice car that you were saving up for instead of serving my deen? This is a very real conversation. I don't want to talk to you about Sahaba today, because we can. These ayat, the Sahaba were listening to them. I want to talk to you about me and you. There are people who were very, very, when they became, I know a person I was talking to recently, when he became Muslim, he was extremely, extremely active. Like he just wanted to do stuff for Allah. He just wanted to serve Allah however he can. And one time he got into an accident, he thought he was going to die, and the only thoughts running in his mind were, have I done enough? Did I earn Jannah or not? He wasn't thinking about his wife. And the thought of the wife came, the kids came, he goes, I didn't take care of them, Allah did. Allah will take care of them. I'm going to come and go. Their rizq is not on me, their rizq is on Allah Azza wa Jal. That was his mentality. But he survived the accident. And he, left that company, and he graduated, and he, got a job, and got another contract, and then another contract, and this and that, and career. And he told me, like, for the last 8-9 years, all I've been thinking about is savings, investment, the next move, the promotion, saving for the kids, paying off the house, real estate, 401k. And yeah, I go for salat and stuff, but my day and night is not spent thinking, how am I going to get to Jannah? It hasn't been like that. I remember being like that once. I remember that time. I'm not that person anymore. I don't know what's happened. I'm questioning, why am I just on this earth to just save more money and build more of a career? Why am I on this earth? I'm just starting to question, rethink about where my life is headed. Taking care of your family and having a great career is not something bad. But when that's what your life amounts to, and that's not a question I can answer for yourself, right? That's only a question I can ask myself deep down inside, and you have to ask yourselves deep down inside. Are we living to work? Or are we working to serve Allah? There are people who just live to work. That's it. They lose their job, they've lost their dignity. They've lost their purpose in life. That's all they were, was a worker. That's it. There was nothing else in their life. Are we those people? Are we just machines, cogs in a machine? Parts of a factory? That's all we are in this economy? That's all we're here to do? Save money, buy a house, pay off a house, take care of our children, make sure they go to college, and done. We're out of here. Make some salawat in between if we can. That's it? Or is there something more? وَمَا لَكُمْ أَلَّا تُنْفِقُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ وَلِلَّهِ مِيرَاثُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ لَا يَسْتَوِي مِنْكُمْ مَنْ أَنْفَقَ مِنْ قَبْلِ الْفَتْحِ. No, the ones among you who spent before victory came are not the same. مِنْ قَبْلِ الْفَتْحِ وَقَاتَلَ, and he fought before victory came. أُولَٰئِكَ أَعْظَمُ دَرَجَةً. Those people are greater in terms of their rank, مِنَ الَّذِينَ أَنْفَقُوا مِنْ بَعْدِ, from those who spent after victory came, way after. وَقَاتَلُوا, and those who fought also. Allah is already starting to talk about victory because Ahzab was done. One major victory had already happened. And Allah is saying there were people who were spending for the sake of Islam when there was no hope in sight. Everything around you was reason for pessimism. Things were getting worse by the day, and they kept on spending their time, their energy, their money, their assets for Islam. Those people will not be ranked the same as others who spent when convenient. And I tell you, we are sitting on a golden opportunity. When we look at the state of our ummah today, here and everywhere else, we are in a very low place right now. Especially as far as our iman is concerned. Overall, I can't judge your iman and you can't judge mine. But I feel if I'm a representation of the average Muslim, we're pretty down there. We got a long way up. And if we're in this state, then if now we put ourselves to work, to fix ourselves, to build ourselves up, we will be ranked by Allah in a higher place than those who will come and spend when victory is already there, when good things are already in place, when the challenges have already been met. Those who will come and further it, subhanAllah. The people who came here in America, who, they didn't eat meat for years because they have a job in Louisiana and there's no halal place. And then they finally built a masjid. Two guys got together, used half their life savings or all their life savings and built a small musalla. Just so, their children can stay on Islam and things like that. Those people, they are in a different category. Then people who come after and the gigantor masjid's already built and now they're doing fundraising for the gym. They're a little bit different category. They're not in the same ranking. لا يستوي من أنفق من قبل الفتح وقاتل أولئك أعظم درجة من الذين أنفقوا من بعد وقاتلوا وكلا, and every single one وعد الله الحسنى. Allah has promised the very best. Don't think that just because you came later, you're counting, your infaq didn't count. No. The best will be there for you. Wallahu bima ta'maluna khabir. And Allah is has full news of whatever you're up to. Man dha alladhi yuqridu Allah qardan hasana? Who is out there? Anyone? You know, man alladhi is enough in Arabic. Man alladhi yuqridu Allah. Man dha alladhi? Hal min fard? Hal hunaka wahid? Anyone out there? Man dha alladhi yuqridu Allah. Anyone out there? Is there anyone at all that is going to give Allah a beautiful loan? A good loan. Allah is good for it. You know when somebody takes money and they say, I'm good for it, bro? What does that mean? I'll pay you back. I'm reliable. Give me a good loan. And hasanan also means you didn't put an end date on it. Like, hey, you better pay me back in 20 days. Qard hasanan is open-ended, whenever you can, right? Now, I don't know if you're the group. I think this came up in Surah At-Tawbah. I'll repeat myself because I have no shame. I'll repeat myself. If your mother came up to you, my mother was here today. If your mother came up to you and she says to you, Naman, can I borrow $20? I promise I'll pay you back when I can. My mother comes up to me and asks not if she can have $20. She doesn't say, give me $20. She says, could you please let me borrow $20? I promise I'll pay you back. Urdu mein kehte hain, glass mein doob ke mar jao. Right? Chullu bhar pani mein doob ke mar jao. Right? I would want to commit suicide. My mother thinks I'm so greedy. I'm so in love with money that I wouldn't just give her $20, I would what? Lend it to her. And even then I would be reluctant because I'm not so sure if she's good for it. So she has to say, I'll promise I'll pay you back. Is that embarrassing to me or no? That's the most humiliating thing you can hear from your mother. Mom, why are you asking like that? I am yours. I am a part of you. I owe my life to you. Why did I have to scoop to such a low level in my relationship with my mother that she would have to use that kind of language to ask me? How could I have neglected her so much? How could I have been so greedy that she thinks I'm so greedy that the only way she can convince me to give is if she says, it's a loan, I'll pay you back. But I'm not talking about your mother or my mother. Allah is telling me, Allah is telling you, hey, He could just say, give me. Whose is it anyway? And what's in my wallet is not mine. That debit card is tied to an account, and the money in the account isn't mine. He could just give me, it's mine. He could say. He says, you are so greedy now. You think it's yours. And if it's yours, you can loan it, right? This expression isn't just a beautiful expression of infaq fi sabilillah. It is a means of putting the Muslim to shame. How greedy have you become that you have to be given loaning terminology with Allah? Man dha alladhi, it's supposed to revive you. Ya Allah, no. I give. Qardan hasanan. I'm ready to give. It's supposed to put our muru'ah, our chivalry, our integrity in Islam to shame, this phrase. That's what it's supposed to do. فَيُضَاعِفَهُ لَهُ. Oh, then He'll multiply it for him. وَلَهُ أَجْرٌ كَرِيمٌ, and he'll have a gracious reward. He'll have a noble reward. يَوْمَ تَرَى الْمُؤْمِنِينَ وَالْمُؤْمِنَاتِ, the day on which you're going to see believing men and believing women. يَسْعَى نُورُهُمْ بَيْنَ أَيْدِيهِمْ وَبِأَيْمَانِهِمْ. Their light will be running forward, like beaming out. Yas'a, it'll rush out from right in front of them and on their right hands. So you'll see believing men and women that have light coming out of them, from their chests, from in front of them, and from their right hand. I told you the light of their sincere iman, that iman that Allah revived in the beginning of this surah, that He tried to maintain by making us do infaq. That same iman is going to stick out of our front, and when we spent with our right hand and we spent what Allah had given us, the light is coming out of our right hand, and these are used as the torches to navigate the darkness of Judgment Day so we can make it to the gates of paradise. Bushrakumul yawm, congratulations to all of you today. Jannatun tajri min tahtiha al-anhar. Imagine these people walking in the dark. Now some people, the Prophet ﷺ describes their light is so good, they can go from Makkah to Sham. Some people, their light is so weak, all they can see is the feet in front of them.